Okay, this is part 2, let me adjust the camera, of my answers for questions from my new snuff-taking friend, Oz, who is, by the way, a very nice man. We have not actually spoken, but he's left me a number of voice messages through Skype. I encourage you to contact me on Skype as well. In a future video here, I'll be putting my Skype contact information, because I love to talk snuff anytime, you know. If I'm available, always happy to chat about it. Among the other questions that my buddy Oz asks is, are there any reputable snuff makers other than Toque? Yes, yes, absolutely. First of all, we'll go country by country, although I'm going to miss a bunch of them, I'm sure. In India, we have 6 Photo, 41 Photo, and Dolakia. Those are the 3 big players. There is also 5 Photo. There are also a number of smaller Indian brands, including Queen and Lion is one of them. Another one is 5 Roses. Another one, oh boy, I don't even remember. But there's a bunch of Indian companies. Snuff taking is an Indian tradition that goes back since the start of the British colonization of India back in the 18th century. So they've been doing snuff for a long time there, and they're very good at it. They use it as a health product, a tooth powder for cleaning the teeth, depending on what kind of snuff it is. So there's lots of options from India. By the way, don't be put off if a manufacturer says the snuff is not for nasal use. This may be a question of complying with government regulations. And understand, as I said, like some of the Indian snuffs, particularly Super Cheetac, was never introduced as a sniffing snuff. It's a tooth powder to clean your teeth. So it works as a snuff, obviously. So that's India. In Germany, 1 big player and a couple of smaller ones. The biggest player, of course, is Perschel, P-O with an umlaut, S-C-H-L. It's one of the largest tobacco companies in the world. If you have ever seen Backwoods Smokes cigars at your local convenience store or gas station, those are a Perschel product. But Perschel also makes a number of fantastic snuffs, including their flagships Gletscherprise and Löwenprise, and also their Ozona range of snuffs, which are very popular. They also do a lot of Schmalzlers, and we'll talk about that when we talk about different types of snuff in an upcoming video. Also in Germany, you've got Bernard's. Bernard's makes a lot of fantastic snuffs. They're getting increasingly hard to get, and sadly, because of the European Union regulations, their beautiful artistic packaging has been vandalized. It's horrible. I don't see, and even I think it's horrible. There's also Josef Sternecker. I do not know if he is in business anymore, a Schmalzler maker. And there is the artisan Rene Rosinski. You can only get Rosinski's snuffs through his German website. Google Translate will help. In England, count them. Probably it's where the greatest snuff tradition in the world exists, is in merry old England. And in England, we got a few manufacturers. We have, in no particular order of importance, Wilsons of Sharrow. Wilsons of Sharrow has been in business since the late 1780s. Their grinding wheel, their mill wheel, no longer used to make snuff, but it still runs, and they run it once a year, is the oldest existing piece of machinery from the first industrial revolution, and therefore is a national registered landmark. But Wilsons of Sharrow produces a wide variety of snuffs, although recent European Union regulations have caused them to cut about 70% of their range. We also have a company now that I believe, I'm not sure how it goes, I believe it is Gowith Hogarth purchased Samuel Gowith. But either way, you've got those two. You've got Gowith Hogarth, and you also have good old Sammy Gowith, and they make all of them, they make some fabulous snuffs. There is the Angry Little Brothers Company, the J&H Wilson. Yes, they are a relation to Wilsons of Sharrow. They make a couple of excellent SP-style snuffs. You also have McChrystal's. McChrystal's is known for their original and genuine, definitely a classic and archetypal snuff. Is it an SP? Is it a medicated? Is it a floral? Nobody really knows, but it is delightful. These days, the famous Hedges L260, the only medicated snuff accepted as part of the official British pharmacopoeia. In other words, it can still be prescribed as a medicine with a reference number of L260, which is why it has its name. That is now being manufactured and distributed by Wilson's of Sharrow. Besides the ones I've just mentioned, let us never forget my pals over at Toque Snuff. Roderick and company were early into the snuff revival in the early 21st century, maybe late 20th century. They started out with just a Toque natural snuff and a peppermint, but from there they've expanded their range, including some of the best SPs and the highest nicotine snuffs in the world. So that's what we've got from England. Now, the United States has never been one to sit back and let others make something that we thought we could make better ourselves. And there is a huge tradition of snuff taking, with a wrinkle, from the United States as well, with companies like Swisher and U.S. Smokeless, W.E. Garrett. These companies have been making snuff, but they were the first dip, in that you dipped a toothpick or a moist twig into the can and put it in your mouth. You ever see guys in movies sucking on toothpicks or matchsticks? That was evidence that they were dipping snuff. Very few people, especially the old folks, they don't take it up their nose, they take it orally. I don't like it orally, I've tried it that way. But they make for good sniffing snuffs, especially the scotches. Lots of nicotine, lots of nice smoky flavors, some of them very sort of wood shop smelling and very pleasant, plus some of the best peach flavored snuffs in the world. And again, lots of high nicotine. So that's a brief overview of manufacturers with whom I am familiar. I am certain that there are others. If I have missed any, my viewers will certainly inform me down in the comments section, and I hope they do. Please subscribe, please keep watching, please commenting, tell all your friends and family about this weird, pudgy, blind guy that sticks stuff up his nose on YouTube. I thank you for doing so. From the Dank Basement, more of these videos coming. I tell you, Oz has a bunch of answers. And while we're on that subject, Oz, and any other beginner, I've already covered a lot of these questions in videos I've done over the last 5 years. Just do a Google search under Paul Schallbetter, that is my name, YouTube, that is where you are, and then the topic about nasal snuff that you'd like to learn about. For instance, nicotine in nasal snuff, or best nasal snuff to quit smoking, or whatever. You're going to get an awful lot of links to my channel. I have now something over 500 videos. Go watch them, and they'll help you even faster than I'll be able to make these videos to answer your questions. From the Dank Basement again, thanks for watching, and all the rest, I need more coffee. Coffee. Must have coffee. I look great in the morning, don't I?